Hi there, retro pop culture fans. This is Tim Hayes, and welcome back to the Tim Hayes YouTube channel. This time, I have a toy collecting video, and it won't necessarily be Star Wars related. It'll be retro action figure related this time. So recently, I purchased two more of the Super 7 reaction figures from Amazon. Well, yeah, they still call them reaction figures. I thought that was something just when Funko Pop was collaborating, but even into Hasbro Wizards of the Coast, which is Hasbro collaborating with them, they still call them reaction figures. So I had opened a couple of my older reaction figures since I bought two more. It's about time. So let me show you what I've done, what I got opened. It's the Hasbro Wizards of the Coast Super 7 reaction figure of the Dungeons&Dragons Sorceress, and she's holding her torch. That's an older Super 7 reaction figure of the Great Garloo. Just a 3.75 recreation of the giant motorized or battery operated toy from the 60s. And then I have the Larry Hama cartoon version of Scarlet of G.I. Joe pointing her crossbow at the Great Garloo as he's trying to attack Jedi Knight Luke. And that's the retro collection Jedi Knight Luke, not the vintage Kenner one, facing off with the Obi-Wan Kenobi series retro collection Darth Vader. And those are supposed to be the glow-in-the-dark Stan Solo lightsabers I have. Luke and Darth Vader using. I say they're supposed to because I can't get them to really glow in the dark in this room, but probably because it's too dark right now and I get too much extra light from the computer even if I turn the computer off or I turn the light off on my webcam. There's still little lights on the computer and the monitor that light up the room a little bit even if I try to get it too dark. Yeah, these lightsabers will glow, I think will glow in another room, another dark room a little bit better. I've tried shining lights on them to get them to glow. Yeah, and that's the retro collection Jedi Knight Luke's cloak. And along with some of the Hasbro vintage collection Mandalorian figures and two vintage collection Stormtroopers they took out. That is the Hasbro rocket firing Boba Fett I have right there. Yeah, he looks like a vintage Kenner one, but he's got a rocket firing action, but it's got a safety mechanism in there, so it just, when you press the button, the rocket just slightly goes up. It doesn't come out of the back, his backpack, unless you turn the figure over and drop it out after it's shot up. And unfortunately, I got it a little bit bent, so I've got to be careful with this rocket so it doesn't get broken. So I just wanted to show those off because I've got a couple of new figures for the collection. Yeah, recently from Amazon Prime, I bought the Super 7 reaction figure, the Plan 9 grayscale black and white version of Vampira. So it's black and white, just like she appeared in Plan 9 from Outer Space. And the back of the package They don't show you any other figures since this is the only Plan 9 figure they've made. They haven't made Tor Johnson or anyone else from the film. Well, technically, there is one other figure that could count as a Plan 9 figure. So I'm going to open this one up and bring that figure down from the shelf to show you what I mean. But one other figure I plan on opening tonight I bought recently from Amazon Prime. The Mole People from the 50s creature feature movie from Universal Pictures. And they show the rest of the Universal monsters in this particular wave. They've got the Mummy, the Wolfman, creature from the Black Lagoon, the Metaluna mutant from This Island Earth, and the Phantom of the Opera is Mask of the Red Death from the masked ball scene from the silent 1925 Phantom of the Opera movie, and the Mole People Mole Man figure. So I'm going to open these two figures tonight. So I think I'll turn the camera off first while I do that. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back now, and let's take a look at the action figures. I put the Retro Collection Obi-Wan Kenobi Darth Vader and Retro Collection Jedi Knight Luke just right there. Left Boba Fett alone, but here we have Super 7 reaction figures, the G.I. Joe Larry Hama cartoon Scarlet, and I had to put her arrows down because they were just falling off of her arm and she couldn't hold them, and her crossbow was falling out if she kept holding it up. But here's a closer look at Scarlet and the Dungeons and Dragons Sorceress, and now I opened up Plan 9 Grayscale Vampira, and you can see she's similar to the Dungeons and Dragons Sorceress in that they both have one leg uncovered from their skirt pieces. Well, with Vampira, it's the right leg, and the Sorceress, it's the left leg. And there you see the Mole Man from the Mole People movie and the Great Garloo, and I brought out my reaction Funko Super 7 Bela Lugosi Dracula, even though the face doesn't really look like Bela Lugosi, but I remember him coming in a package that had Bela Lugosi's likeness on it. And I have him next to Vampira since if you've ever seen Plan 9 from Outer Space, Bela Lugosi is in that movie. And whenever, well, you see him just as an old man at the start of the movie, attending the funeral of his dead wife, which is played by Malin Nurmi, who is better known as the horror movie hostess Vampira. So, long before Cassandra Peterson was Elvira, there was Malin Nurmi as Vampira. So, yeah, that old man dies, and then he rises from the dead, but looking exactly like Count Dracula, since it was Bela Lugosi, and they had him in the Dracula costume. So unless Super 7 decides to make more than just Vampira, that Bela Lugosi Dracula is going to have to do as my only other Plan 9 action figure. But I got a few other monsters to befriend them. the Mole Man from the Mole People, and the Great Garloo, and some frenemies. Well, no, not so much enemies, but probably more like enemies. The Dungeons and Dragons sorceress is more of a good girl, just like Scarlet. And I wanted to show those lightsabers glow in the dark, but I just cannot get them to glow in this room. So, new additions to the collection: the Mole Man from the Mole People, and Vampira, as she appeared in Plan 9 from Outer Space, having her stand beside Bela Lugosi Dracula, since it's the closest thing I have to another Plan 9 from Outer Space action figure. And then two of my older figures in the collection: the Hasbro collaboration with Super 7 of Dungeons and Dragons Sorceress, and the Larry Hama cartoon version of Scarlet of G.I. Joe. And then just the Hasbro rocket firing Boba Fett, which looks like the vintage Kenner Boba Fett, but has actual rocket missile that will fire up just a little bit when you press the button, but it doesn't shoot out. It'll fall out, but it won't shoot out. And then in my retro collection, Luke and Return of the Jedi Luke and Obi-Wan series retro collection Darth Vader. So that's it for this short toy collecting video. So I'm Tim, and thank you for watching this toy collecting video, not being so much Star Wars, but just being more of a mix of retro pop culture, horror, fantasy, and sci-fi. So thank you for watching, and keep an eye out for another toy collecting video coming soon. I have a few more in the works, and I do have some physical media update videos to work on as well. So keep an eye out for those. But until then, enjoy whatever else is on the channel. And I'll be back soon. One thing I left out. The Dungeons and Dragons Sorceress comes with the flaming torch, like you see her using in that Super 7 card back graphic. That was, she's holding a glowing orb in the left hand, but she has a flaming torch on the right hand. She's using both those against a big scary dragon. Yeah, she comes with her own flaming torch, but sadly no orb. She's got a little knife on the side, but it doesn't come off, and she has vinyl cape. Yeah, I brought Frankenstein's monster out. Get back, foul monster. Fire bad. That's right, foul monster. Get back, or you will burn. Burn! Okay. Thanks for sticking around.